Hello sports fans, Mauricio here. Well, this video is about group by queries with a join in it because we need to get some dimensions from other tables. So first we'll join to the categories table because I might want to filter to only see the products by category 1, 2, or 3. And I suppose we could even bring in the category name there. And then we'll also do another query where we join to customers, and maybe we could do something with city or state there. We don't have a geography table, but just as a review, the data for transactions is in the sales details table. Now this table has product ID in it because we're selling products on an invoice. So if we took a look at the products table, the products table has a foreign key relationship to the category table, which means in the products table you just can't make up a category ID. You have to choose a category ID that is existing in the primary key of the categories table. So category ID in the products table, these values, because there's a foreign key, must match pre-existing values in the categories table. Similarly, in the sales details table, there's a foreign key to the customers table. So when we make a sale to a customer, you can't just make up those customer names or numbers. The customer ID must match pre-existing customers in the primary key of the customers table. So we've set up the data entry to be very accurate. Now we can leverage that linking of the tables to do something called a join. We're doing an inner join. So the word inner is optional, but let's see. So here we have our sales totaled by product. So product 1004, orange shirt, we have it was sold 2 times for a total of 5 units. But this list, you could say, is too long. I get 33 products. I would like to filter that by category. Okay, Featherman, in the sales details table, there is no category. What the heck are you gonna do? Okay, here comes the join. So we have to join on a field in common. So we have to join to products table. So that's all we could join to. So sales detail joins to products. So let's go ahead and join to the products table. Products table has the category ID in there. So we'll go ahead and type inner join, and then after a while we won't use the word inner, but I need to explain what that means. So we're going to join to the products table on a field in common, and I want to simplify this, so I'm going to give each of these tables alias, and you could join on a field in common. What field do they have in common? Well, the sales details table is letting you know it has a product ID in common with the product ID. So you always link to the primary key of the other table, usually a dimension table. So it's going to be from SD dot product ID. We're going to join the sales details table product ID. That's what it has in common with the products table. All right. So we want to join the products table to the sales details table. And oh, why are all these errors here now? Well, the problem is ambiguous columns. So that column is actually, a product ID is actually both product ID, product name. It's both in the sales details and in the products table, product ID and product name. So we just need to pick one of them. It doesn't matter. But it's kind of like, well, I have lots of dumb analogies, but you just have to specify which table does that field come from. So we haven't got the benefit yet of joining these tables, but let's just talk about this for a minute. So there are a couple different ways to do a join. You could either do an inner join or you can do a where statement. I'll show a way to do it maybe in a minute. But what are we doing here? So get the data from the sales details table and go ahead and connect the sales details table to the products table on the field they have in common. What field do they have in common? Product ID, product ID. So you have to eyeball that to see that. And by the way, you always connect to the primary key field. Now what is in the product table is the category ID. So now we could say where category ID equals 2. So before you couldn't have access to that category ID field. So if we execute this, now, these are the category 2 products. Looks like soap. Category 3 is electronics, and category 1 is all the clothing. So this filtering was not possible a minute ago. So could you put category ID in the select statement? Yes. And then you have to also put it in the group by statement. So whatever the dimensions are in your select statement have to match exactly the dimensions in your group by statement. That's one of the rules. So we could put category ID here. So I have no idea what category ID. So we would like to, in the products table, does it have category name? Oh no. But category ID looks like this must link to another table. So let's take a look. So category ID is in both the products table and the categories table, and the categories table has category number. So let's do another inner join, but we have to kind of be careful here. So let's join the right table. So inner join products. Hang on a second. Inner join the new table, categories. And again, well, I didn't mention it, but when you specify the field in common, do you really want to type dbo.tablename.fieldname, dbo tablename.fieldname, or do you want to just use the alias, so that P goes there and then SD goes there, and that SD is the same thing as if I typed that long table name. So let's join in the categories. Now categories is going to connect to which table? Well, the products table. So we're going to join categories on C.category ID equals P.category ID. By the way, when you see the field here, just click it. That way you don't have to type it. Alright, so now we have this same problem again. ambiguous. So which table should we get that category ID from? How about the categories table? I usually pick the dimension table, so we'll go ahead and just put, so we're telling it which table to get the category ID from, because now the category ID is from two different tables. So great, you didn't really do anything yet, but aha, if I bring category name over, so category name is only in one table, so it doesn't have any error messages, but what's the rule? All the dimensions in your select statement must match all the dimensions in the group by statement. So now we should see category ID, soap and shampoo. Do we really need the category ID number there? Not really. So we can take that out of the select and the group by statement. So that's a nice report. And we could still group it by different categories. So the category ID does not have to be in the select statement if it's in the where statement. And that's sometimes a little back and forth on that. So let me do one more example. So I'm going to switch this to a customer's customer related. So let's see. I suppose we don't need to bring in products perhaps, but let's see. So let's bring in customers, also with a C, but let's go ahead and bring in the customers. What do they have in common? Customer ID. And customer ID should also be in the sales detail. There it is, customer ID. So SD, sales detail table, category ID, customer ID. Well, I guess we can't filter on category if we get rid of the products table, but that's okay for now. And C dot has customer ID, so we could bring in the customer ID number and full name, and then provide totals. Now customer ID again is in two different tables. It's here and it's here. So when you get that ambiguous error, you know, like I don't know, are you customer ID table? You're in here twice. It's like a family with two kids named Jim. It's one has to change their name, or one gets to be called Skippy, for example. So C dot. So go ahead and use the customer ID from the customers table. So customer ID there, and what's the rule? Whatever dimensions you have up there, you have to put down here. Do we really need to order? I suppose, I guess so. Just sort by customer ID. And now we don't have totals by category. We have totals, oops. We have totals by customer. So this is joining to customers table. Well, so in summary, you can join to another table if you have a foreign key or if you have a field in common with the other table. Now product ID can only join to the products table because you would join to the primary key. Customer ID would only join to the customers table to the primary key. So joining is hugely important. We'll cover it more. Take care.